Hello everyone. It is Jackie from Pocket of Preschool, and I'm so excited you guys are here with me tonight or today, depending on when you're watching. So if you haven't guessed, tonight or today again, depending on when you're watching, this video is all going to be about pirate themed activities that you can do in your classroom. And I know some people do a pirate theme in the spring or maybe around summer. With like a beach theme, or I know some people do like a little bit of pirate themes like randomly during the year because they are like by a beach, like that's where their schools is, by the ocean. Or Talk Like a Pirate Day is in September, so that's really fun to do. If you want to celebrate Talk Like a Pirate Day, you can do some of these activities with your class as well. So before I jump right in, the links are where all the links are. There is a fun freebie, which I'll show you guys in a bit. All of the center activities are in the center unit, Pirate Center unit, so you can get that on TPT. And then I'll show you non-printable activities too. Now, there are a ton of fun pirate books. I'll show you some of my favorites. There's also a pirate book list on the blog and in the curriculum app. So Ready, Set, Sail is a fun one. 5 Little Sharks. There Was No Pirate Who Swallowed a Fish. Shiver Me Letters. Pirate Boy. Out of the Ocean. Pirate Pete. Going on a Treasure Hunt. This one is really, really fun. Pirate Nap, a book about colors. And The 3 Little Fish in the Big Bad Shark, which is a twist on the 3 Little Pigs. And I copied the character cards. You can tell because the text is still on it. I copied the pages from the book and I made it into a retelling unit. And I just put magnets on the back so we can retell the story that way, like we retell the 3 Little Pigs. And this is how I keep it on my bookshelf. I print the cover and then I keep it like this on my bookshelf, my teacher bookshelf, because if I don't keep the retellings with the book, I guarantee you I will forget I have it. So, and I don't have to go look in 3 places. So that's a little fun little trick for you if you want to do that. So those are some fun books for circle time. But let me show you some more fun activities. So we're gonna start with sensory because I'm gonna use a lot of the manipulatives for different things. So here is a fun pirate themed Play-Doh tray. So I have yellow and blue Play-Doh. Now, ideally, if you have time, make just a regular batch of Play-Doh. So, and then it's like that sand color. That would be perfect for this. But you can also do just yellow and blue. I have some Play-Doh tools. I have some of these starfish. They're fake. And then a few shells. I have coins. I have these jewels. I have cut up beads for treasure. And then I made some pirate flags just with stickers I had and toothpicks. Oh, that one fell apart. So I need to put some more glue on that one. There we go. It's all fixed. So we have some little pirate flags that I made just with some stickers, and they can create and make all the things. And then if you have any of these shell eggs, like that the Dollar Tree has out around Easter time, these are fun to put out too in your Play-Doh tray because I like to put the Play-Doh in and hide things in it. It's really, really great fine motor. And if you're wondering, I have this in my art center. There's a special space in my art center for all my Play-Doh trays because I usually do one per theme. It's great fine motor, great problem solving, lots of oral language because the kids share this. I also put this out for my morning table time activity because it's open-ended. I'll put this out in the middle of a table that seats 6 kids, and I'll put 6 small trays at like 1 tray at each table, like a tray about like this size. So these are like smaller. These are from Discount School Supply. There's some on Amazon too, and I have them all linked on my Amazon storefront. But you can see they're small, so that way I can have one at each of the 6 seats. This is in the middle. They can create and share everything. I don't put one thing of Play-Doh out on each tray. They have to share the Play-Doh. Obviously, if it's the beginning of the year, you would want to kind of make sure you're close by so you can facilitate kids saying, can I have some? And helping the other friends share, and not to share like a pinch, right? Share more, but we want to facilitate those conversations and them asking each other to share and for more or for less or all of that. So these are great for that. And then when they're done with whatever they make, they put it all back and there's no issues. And it's really, really fun. And I love Play-Doh trays. Students love Play-Doh trays. So, and it's art because it's sculpting. So really fun. Now for the sensory table. So I have a little sensory table that I made. So what I want you to do is pretend this is in my sensory bin. And I have some kinetic sand. Now you can also use regular sand. So kinetic sand, I just love it because you can mold it. And then I have a whole bunch of cut up beads. I have some more gems in here. And then what I would do is I have a whole bunch of these coins with letters on them. So I would sprinkle all of those in. Okay, a whole bunch of those in. I would also put in these shells that they can open and close. You can either put some buckets in here with some shovels, or if you have any, hold on. If you have any little treasure boxes, I have these from the Dollar Tree. You can put those in there too, but if you don't have these, grab some buckets and some shovels and that works perfect. So I'm gonna use these for another activity in a minute. So now again, if you don't have kinetic sand, it's totally fine. Use regular sand and that works great. But the kinetic sand's really fun because they can push the beads in and it makes prints. They can hide the treasure and have their friends find it, kind of like Play-Doh. So they can say, here, can you find it? And then the other friend would have to go, oh, it fell out. It's right here. And again, these are just like cut up little beads. So really fun. You could also put out different color buckets and they can sort the beads and treasure and coins into those buckets. You do it however you want. So that is a fun sensory bin activity. Oop, goodness. All right, and I'm using this for another activity in just a minute. So we're gonna keep moving along. I have another fun sensory for you. So this one's a little bit messy. So we all love Oobleck, right? Well, for ocean, because pirates are out in the ocean, I made this one really watery. If you can see, let me see. There's like water at the bottom. So it's really watery Oobleck. Now, obviously the kids would probably be playing this with their hands. I'm not going to because I'm showing you guys more activities. But this is really fun. They can hide the animals. Now, if you see, do you see that? I hid some letters in the Oobleck. So it's kind of like camouflage letters. And I used these letter beads, which I love these things from Learning Resources. So I would just take a whole bunch of blue and green or purple, and you can put them in there. Oh gosh, this one all the way in. Oh, there, you can see how it's like, there we go. Now you can see it. It's very watery, but the ocean's watery. So I thought, why not make some watery Oobleck? And you would have the kids play with their hands. But if a kiddo doesn't like how this feels, give them a tool so they can explore the sensory material too without feeling uncomfortable or overwhelmed or all the things. I forgot a napkin. So we're just gonna go with it. So make some Oobleck, like ocean Oobleck, for some fun sensory and fine motor play for your pirate theme. Okay. All right, so. All right. Ready for more? Okay, so this is one activity you can do. I love paper plate activities. So for this one, what you can do is put the student's name, all your students' names at the bottom, and then they can clothespin the letters on to make the name. Mine wouldn't work because they would be upside down if I did it this way. They could do that, so I'm having them do that at the top. And then if you put out the letter beads or magnet letters with it, they can then make the name with the manipulatives. And then once they do their name, they can trade with a friend. Put this back and they can trade with a friend, and then they can make their friend's name. But that's a really fun activity to do with shark plates. Now, if you don't want to work on names, you could do kind of like whatever you wanted. So I also have some that have where the shark is eating different shapes, and I just put stickers there. So you could use shape buttons, and the shark could eat all of the different shape buttons. You could also put numbers in the shark's mouth, and the shark could eat that many, you know. You could use treasures, you could use mini erasers, whatever. But you could make this for names. You could also cut them in half and do a letter puzzle and do like A and uppercase A, lowercase a, or you could do a letter sort, whatever you want to do. But there's usually shark plates either at Target or Walmart, and they're pretty inexpensive, which is the best part. But when they use the clothespins, it's really great fine motor. So, perfect. All right. So another paper plate activity you can do is with, if you have shells. So I found these shell paper plates, and what I did is I just wrote letters on them. So what I would do is I would put these like out down the middle of the table. You can see I have all of them. So I'd put them out going all the way down the table. And then I love making my own manipulatives for the classroom. Hold on. Let me move some of this around a little bit. There we go. Can you see it? There, you can see it. So I have all of these shells, and I just took a Sharpie and I wrote letters in all of the shells. So now I have these really fun manipulatives with letters on them. So like I would do A, and they would match it. And then I have these little letter beads, which they kind of look like pearls. So we're gonna go with it, and they could match the letters. So they can match the uppercase and the lowercase. Or if you have magnet letters, you could do that too. They don't have to be shells. Use what you have. But it's a really fun activity. And again, you could put out all the letters A through Z, or you could just put out like A through F, or maybe just the first letter of everyone's name in the class. Or use your assessments and figure out which ones, which letters your students need to practice more, and make those for that. So it's a fun little shell letter activity, because we use the things we have and we want to use them bunches, so we don't use them once and then be done. Okay, so we have that. All right. Okay, so the fun freebie, like I was telling you about, it is a treasure pirate map. So you can laminate them. There's a whole bunch. So it's a great fine motor activity for them to practice making different types of lines and tracing. So what they're gonna do is grab a dry erase marker, and they are going to start at the pirate ship, and they can trace the path to get to the treasure. And then they can erase it, which these just have a little felt piece on the top, which is great. They're erasing really great. So you can just have them erase it. We're gonna pretend like I erased it because, you know, that takes time. Or if you want to do another option, you could also put out a little, like a mini eraser, this like little crab, and they can take the mini eraser, like little crab, or, you know, maybe you have a fish or a turtle, whatever it is, and they can move that along the path to get to the treasure. So you could do dry erase markers, you could do pom-poms, you could do little animals, you could do like real little animals. When they do these, I feel like sometimes they don't move them as much and they don't twist their wrists as much, but these work too. So they can move and swim to get to the treasure. So fun. And again, these are linked, so make sure you go grab these. It's a freebie. You just put in your email and we will send them to you. Another fun fine motor activity you can do, this one is in the Math and Literacy Center set. They are hole punches. So they grab one of the strips and then they simply hole punch it. Okay, super simple. Kids love hole punches. It's really, really fun. You can use any hole punches you have. If you do the long ones, they can tape it and then they can make it into a bracelet. And then they kind of have their hole punch pirate bracelet to take home. And there's short pieces or long pieces. These are great if hole punches are frustrating for your kids or it's tricky. So pick the ones you want, or you can put all of them out and the kids can pick them. Also, I know some of you guys have this hole punch. It's on Amazon. that's a little bit easier, and it's more of that scissor open and close. So you could put these out, and again, you can put all of them out, and then they can pick the whole bunch they want. If you have shaped paper punches, those work too. So this is in the Math and Literacy Centers set. That's another one. So another fine motor / literacy activity is this name craft. So they are going to cut out the treasure box. If they are 3 and this is too much for them to cut out, cut this out for them. And then what they're going to do is pick the jewels and make their name. Now, they're a little bit tricky. So if your students are having, if they need more support cutting, use these loop scissors that bounce back open. We call them bouncy scissors. I also like having these out for kiddos who maybe their hand gets tired using these. And rather than them stopping and being done with the activity, they can use the loop scissors, the bouncy scissors, and continue the activity. You can also, once they pick out the ones they want, you can write the letter on in pencil and then they can trace it if you want to do that for support. Or you can put out name cards and they can write one letter on each card using their name card for some extra support if they need it. Or again, they can trace it, up to you. Also, if you have kiddos and you're doing this at the beginning of the year, or maybe your kiddos are just, cutting as hard, I will have a couple of each shape as kind of a backup. So maybe they cut 3 and they're tired and their hand is tired, and that's pretty good for them. I'll give them the other ones that I cut out. So that's okay too. And it makes a really fun bulletin board too. So this is in the Pirate Centers unit. And if you're wondering how I have the brown paper copied, so I cut brown construction paper to copy paper size and I put it in my copier. Proceed with caution. Okay? Don't break your copiers. And don't break them and tell your school it was Jackie's idea. No. Not a good idea. At your writing center, or my writing center, yours too, I'm sure, I can't see. I have a pocket chart that I put all of my word cards in. Okay, so we would have all the word cards in the pocket chart, which is where I am, on the wall. And then I have the different paper. I typically use the half sheet size. There are full sheet options in the unit. There are some with lines as well. So pick the paper that works for your age group of kiddos. You can also put any of the letter formation like worksheets in the writing center too. Some kids love worksheets. You can also put these in a dry erase pocket so they can trace them, and it's not a worksheet, then it's more of like a letter mat. But if you want to get them building letters at the writing center, this is really fun to do. So you're going to take, where's that? Oh, and the word cards also come in all uppercase because sometimes uppercase are easier to write. So if you have all 3s, put the uppercase letters out so that way your friends can make letters and not be frustrated, because uppercase is easier to write because it's more straight lines. So what you're gonna do also at your writing center, or you can do this for a small group, is give everybody a pencil box, or you can put 2 of these pencil boxes out with kinetic sand and the word cards. You can do uppercase or lowercase, whatever you want. And they can stamp the word, can you see it, with the stampers. This is great too for teachers who don't really like these stamps because they're messy. And I never have my kiddos match them back in, so ignore the letter order. Because I have 3, 4, and 5-year-olds when I teach, so that's not happening. So they're gonna stamp and push, 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 push. And then look. Do you see it? You can literally see the word that they stamped in the kinetic sand, and then they can erase by moving this around, which all of this is really great fine motor. Like when they're pressing, it's really great fine motor. They also have to kind of smooth it out to have a little space for them to stamp, which is, again, lots and lots of great fine motor, and we're exploring letters and making words, so super fun. And again, you can just have this literally in your writing center. Like, if you can have these against the wall with this open, with it open. or you can take the lid off and then have this kind of next to it. I like putting the kinetic sand in pencil boxes because it makes less mess. So, and again, you could do this also for like a center time activity or small group or like morning, like arrival time, whatever you want to do. Okay. Now, if you want to do, oh, hold on. This is a really fun one. So this is in the centers unit. This is a syllable sort. So we have these skeletons, and they are going to count the number of syllables and put it in the skeleton. So pirate, 2, 2. And then let's do map, 1. Rainbow, 2. Mermaid, 2. So they can put it in all of the different little pirates. And I just put some gems, some little, what are they? Some little, some treasure out too, just for some extra added fun. And super simple, super easy, but engaging and fun. Now, this is a syllable activity. There is a rhyme activity included in the TPT unit, but I wanted to show you one thing I love to do as a transition activity for rhymes and syllables. So I have a baggie that has one's for rhyme, one's for compound words, and one's for syllables. So I call it like our going shopping activities. So I put these things in the bucket, okay? And these are all things that have great rhyming words in them. So the kids would come up and I would say, okay, like if you have to transition and the kids are like going one at a time to transition to the next activity, and maybe you want to, you don't want them to all get up at the same time. So you can say, okay, Jackie, come up and pick something out of the bucket. And she could pick plane because, sand, bucket, treasure, pirates. Yeah, fun. So we are digging for rhyme, this one's rhyme. I forgot. I didn't know if I grabbed the rhyme or syllable baggie. So we are digging for rhyme treasures. So they would pick one out and like she would go plane and she would have to give me some rhyming words. Plane, train, main. And then the other kids could come in or tell us some things, and then I would put it on the side, and then I would say, okay, Andrew, come up. And he would pick a treasure rhyme, and it's bat, hat, cat. And then the next one would come, cup, lup, sup. Now, I do try and put some in here that have nonsense words like cup, but square, bear, hair, top, mop, sock, lock. And I just literally went around the room and found different things that had rhymes. And again, you can do digging for syllable treasures, digging for compound word treasures, whatever you want to do. Just put them in the bucket and have each kid pick one out as they transition. Or if you have like a couple minutes and it's like to transition to the next activity, you can pick them out and the whole class can say them too. It doesn't have to be one at a time. So, digging for rhymes. Super fun. Or you can use syllables or compound words. Okay. So, another fun thing is this read, build, write. My students in my classroom have always loved read, build, write. They just have. So, you can do this a couple ways. So, they can pick a letter and they could say R, and then they could build it, and you could use anything you want to build it. So you could use Play-Doh. I have a little Play-Doh snake already made. And then we have, I tried to make it ahead of time so that way, but they could do, and they could make it with the Play-Doh, or they could make it with whatever you wanted them to. Oh my gosh. This Play-Doh's dried up a little bit. R, it's kind of a sad one. And then they would write it, R. Now, you could also have them do the uppercase and find the matching lowercase, and they would build it with whatever you have, and then they would write it. You could also put out these shell letters or the treasure letters, and they would have to build it and then write it. again, use whatever manipulative you want, whatever makes your heart happy. Pick something your students love. And there you go. Now you can also do this activity with sight words. So that's fun too for my teachers who want to work on some sight words. And there's blank cards, so you could also have students work on names, like their name and their friends' names. So read, build, write is super fun. So we're actually gonna take these letters, and it has some letter formation worksheets with it too. So we're gonna actually take these letters and we are gonna use them in a sand tray. So we have our sand tray, and this is just sand in a plate, and I added some shells. And so they're going to make it in the sand, and then shake, shake, shake. I always tell them they have to glue the sand tray to the table, and then they can pick another one. R, shake, shake, shake to erase. Now, if they don't like touching the sand, you can give them a pom-pom or anything like a bigger pom-pom or a small pom-pom, and then they can make their letter in the sand. Sometimes it's easier to see if they use a pom-pom. And then they can shake to erase. P, and shake, shake, shake to erase. Again, sand trays don't have to be in a fancy tray. This is just one of our, like we use these for snack, and I just grabbed blue ones, put a little bit of sand in. It really doesn't take much. Put some shells in, and there you go. And you have a sand writing tray. And you can use any, there's these letters or there are letter formation cards, which I'm gonna show you in just a minute, but either one works. And again, we're gonna use what we have prepped because we don't wanna prep all the things and not use it. Or we wanna use it lots of ways. So if you wanna work on beginning sounds, there are beginning sound clip cards. Hat, octopus, and map. And then, so he has all the letters. So these are great for a super simple fine motor activity. Obviously, if you have threes, we're probably not ready for this yet. Also, again, you don't have to do all the letters in the alphabet. Do some of the letters, half of the letters, 10 of the letters. Do what works for you guys. And it also is gonna depend on when you are doing this unit during the year. If you're doing it at the beginning of the year, they're probably not gonna know as many sounds as if you would do this unit at the end of the year. So these are the fun letter formation cards I was telling you about. So they can make these a couple ways. So they can make it with shells. I think I got these at Dollar Tree in like the craft section. I think these are for like making like things with the shells, but I like them because they're really small and they fit in like letter cards. So they're really great for that. So they can build the letter. They could also make it with Play-Doh, or they can write, this markers is dead. That one, they can't write it with. But, where's my dry erase? Where did it go? Nobody knows. Here it is, found it. And then they can write it, or they can write it with a dry erase. And then since they're laminated, they just erase, erase, erase. I actually left these out. So they're hard as a rock. But you would have them use the regular Play-Doh, right? And then put it away. Totally forgot and had this left out. That's fine. So, really fun way to make their letters. And again, you can also use these with the sand tray. So, rather than having all the different things out, you could have them trace it, and then they could make it in the sand here. And then shake, shake, shake. And then they would pick the next one. Obviously, they would erase. You, whoops, you. And do you see when I grab this, I'm using my pincer muscles? That's working on that pencil grasp without having a pencil in their hand. So, and then they can erase. Do you know my favorite eraser? I don't have it over here because I forgot to grab it. I take a black t-shirt. Not my Pirate Mickey one, but I take a black t-shirt, like an old one, or you can just go buy a cheap one, like on clearance. I cut it up, and then that's my erasers for my dry erase boards. Super fun, right? Super fun idea. Okay, not the last, second to last literacy activity I have for you is this really fun pirate map activity. So, you're gonna pick a letter, and then they can dot it. So if they pick the letter B, they would find B and dot it, or so they could do letter dot it, or they could pick the letter B and then they could, hold on, they could find it on the map and then like pick another one. J. Oh, knocking things over. J. X. And then they would have to find it. And then they can cover it up. And then to erase or clear their board, they have to grab the little magnetic wand. And these come in uppercase, lowercase, and again, you could do uppercase, lowercase. Sometimes my students really love the dot option because then they get to take it home. And families love it when they get to take things home because then they kind of know what's going on more in class and they have some talking points with their kiddos at home. So that is nice too. So do whatever makes your heart happy. There's always options in there. So that way you can pick the option that works best for you and your kids. So I showed you the Play-Doh tray, but what I didn't show you is one of my favorite things to do with, now you would have this in a tray. So I'm gonna see if I can show you. And then you would have all the coins in here. And what you're gonna do is they are gonna flatten out their Play-Doh so they can roll a ball, and they can either flatten it with their hands or they can roll it with the rolling pin. And then they have their sand. Obviously, they would use all of it. I just used a little bit. But they're going to grab a letter. So let's say, grab a letter from the treasure. I have, I'll just grab A. Oh, this one's fun. T. So they can put the T in, and look what happens when they pull it out. Hold on. It makes like a little stamp. Do you see it? I pushed too hard and I cracked it. They pull it out. Do you see how it makes a little stamp? And it's, again, these are just those letter beads. And then what they can do, you can also use it with the coins. And then this is my favorite. Are you guys ready for this? This is so fun. Okay, I need more Play-Doh because you can't see it. It's so fun. So they get to smash, smash, smash. And then what they're gonna do is they are gonna make the letter with the beads. And they can do curvy letters, they can do straight letters. So we have T, and again, you can use the coins, but look what happens when you pull it out of the Play-Doh. Like you can see it, and then they can trace it, and it's bumpy. Oh, and it's so fun. And then again, it's like a little letter stamp. And again, if you don't have little treasure boxes, that's okay. Just cut up some beads and make some pirate treasure letters. Really, really, really fun. So that's my favorite, one of my favorite things to do with the pirate letters. And if you forget any of these, all of these activities are in the blog post, which is linked wherever they are, wherever the links are. Okay, light table. We're moving on to math, by the way. So if you don't have a light table in your classroom, these light pads are great. I have them linked in my Amazon storefront. So I have a couple options. Okay, that's really bright. There we go. So if you have these shell, like translucent manipulatives, you can put these out. And then what I did is I took tape and I made little sorting bowls, because a lot of the sorting bowls don't have pink, and this is basically free, right? So I'm gonna grab my tweezers, which are from Dollar Tree. They can grab one, blue, and they can sort it. Grab one, that one's purple, and they can sort. They can grab them. It's actually green. It doesn't look very green, but it is, I promise. And then they can sort them. You can also put a dice out with this. It's really fun. So now, are they gonna use these tweezers the whole time? Probably not. They'll probably put them down and just start sorting, and it's okay too. Or you can also put out some like that have the like little grippers on them because those are a little bit easier for the kids to grab. Blue, and then they can sort them. You can also put this, you can also like dump them out and then put these kind of at the back, and then they can sort them however you want to display it. But if you don't have a light table in your classroom, these light pads are great because you can just put them on like a shelf like this, and then they can, you have a beautiful light table. Because light tables, let's be honest, they're kind of expensive. So another option, if you don't have those shell letters, is to cut a treasure Okay, so if I use the light tape pad in my classroom, I would cut these a little bit smaller. But these are my treasures, my treasure boxes. So this is just brown tissue paper I laminated. That's it. You could even laminate some blue tissue paper and have some, we're gonna pretend like this fits, have some ocean. And then you can grab your jewels, which are all translucent. You can put them in a bowl. These little bowls I got at the Dollar Tree. Okay, or you can also grab some coins, and you can have these out. And again, you can display it however you want. You can have it out on the light table, or you can have it in like a little cup, whatever you want to do. And what they're going to do is they are going to roll the dice. We're going to pretend I got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4. And then they can put it in, and then it's basically like a roll and fill game. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I have 3. And then they can fill up their treasure box with the gems. Now you can use these gems. If you have like a whole bunch of circle gems, that works too. Again, we're gonna use what we have. So use these. You could also do shells. You could also do, where are they? Little pieces of beads. And they also make these in like translucent beads. I just saw the other day. Oh, there's a piece of my hair. Okay, so like they would do 3. 1, 2, 3, 3. And they could roll again. Maybe they got 2. 1, 2. And they could do that too. So again, use whatever you have. Just laminate some tissue, cut out a treasure box. I didn't even color on it. And you have a really fun roll and count math game for your light table. Or you can use the light pads too. And I want to say these are like 20, 25 bucks a piece. They are much cheaper than a whole light table. And then this is how I store it. I have like a little book bin underneath my light table, and I'll put these in a bag, and then I'll put what manipulatives I use. So I'll put like probably like a couple jewels and coins, so that way my brain works and I remember what I used with it and what I can get out. And then I just have this ready, and it's ready to go and put out. So it's right there at the light table for me. So a fun idea for your light table. And that way we are sneaking in some math at the light table. Yep. All right, we're gonna keep going with some math. So if you don't wanna do that as a roll and trace, but maybe you found these this summer at the Dollar Tree. So what you're gonna do is grab some dice, and they can roll 2, 1, 2. These are just white pom-poms, and they can put them in. You can also just have, if you're like, no, we don't need dice all the time, it's fine. You can just have them transfer and use their fine motor muscles to put the pearls in the shells. And they don't have to have a certain number. We are just practicing and building those fine motor muscles. But again, if you want to add a dice, you absolutely can. It's your classroom. Now, if you don't have these trays, don't forget, if you have, I know the poppet craze is a little bit over, but if you have any like ocean poppets, like maybe you have a crab and I don't know, some other animal, you can grab, oh my gosh, I would just grab red ones, and they can put the little pom-poms in the poppet. And it's, again, great fine motor. You can add a dice if you want, whatever you want to do. So roll and fill with a dice or without a dice. And you can use like the ice cube trays, or if you have any poppets, those work too. Okay. All right, moving right along. Another fun math game that's in, oh, this is what you would use. You would use these red ones. Ta-da! Perfect. Okay, moving on. Okay, so we have these really fun 10 frame pirate mats. So there's a number, there's a 10 frame, and then there's a empty pirate ship. So what they're gonna do, and that they goes up to 20. So you can use 1 to 10 or just teen numbers, or you can do all of them. So they are going to say the number. Oh my gosh, I keep hitting this with my elbow. They can, if they know the number, they can say the number. If they don't know the number, they can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. They can trace it with a dry erase marker, and then they can put pirate flags on the ship. So we're putting 6 pirate flags on the ship. And they're just little pom-poms. You can cut little squares too if you want. You do whatever makes your heart happy. So again, really fun. They can also put these on the little heads, but if they're counting at 14, they can fill up the little pirate ship with 14. But again, add that marker so that way they are practicing writing those numbers too. So again, really fun and simple math game for that. So another fun math game, oh my gosh, you know me, I have stuff stacked everywhere. Let's hope it doesn't fall. This one is practicing writing our numbers. So this one is 1 to 10. It also comes teen numbers, 11 to 20, whatever you want to do. I laminated these so they don't technically have to be in a dry erase pocket, but how cute are those? It also comes in black and white, so that way if you want them to take it home, they can. A little fun sensory trick I didn't learn the other day, but I thought of, I guess. Rather than having a giant sensory bin, use a little pencil or pen container. I think these are for pens. And I put some of that tubing in. And it also helps the cards kind of stick up, because I feel like when you put cards in a sensory bin, they all just fall and it's kind of a mess. I feel like when you use this little pencil box, they kind of stay up a little bit better. So what they're gonna do is pick a number, 7, and they're gonna find it and write it. And do you see little shark's teeth? They can count the shark's tooth if they don't know the number. So this one is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can find it and they write it. Okay, super fun, super simple. Add in a little bit of sensory, super easy way to do it. And there is a worksheet that comes with it, and there is an option to have teen numbers if you want. And again, it comes black and white, so if you want them to do it and then they can trace it and take it home, that is an option too. So many options for you guys. Okay, this one's really fun. This one is a pattern activity. So what you're gonna do is print it out, and then you're gonna tape a pipe cleaner to the back. How cute is that? And then they're gonna make little pirate patterns on their hook. Oh my gosh. And you can use just little pony beads, but you guys, I think this might be one of my favorites. I think it's so cute. And there's different patterns. There's AB patterns, there's ABC patterns, AABB, ABB patterns. So tons, and there's also make your own, so they can make their own pattern. But how fun are these? So much fun. And they're so simple. And again, this one is a make your own, so that way they can make their own pattern on there. But great fine motor, lots of fun, pattern making, excitement. Okay. Ooh, moved you guys. This one is a measurement, non-standard measurement activity. So you have a whole bunch of these fun pirate flags. We have these barrel rulers, and what they're gonna do is they are going to pick a pirate flag, and they can measure how big it is with the barrel rulers or with Unifix cubes. And lucky you, I already have some done. So you don't have to watch me measure and put cubes together. So it is, whoopsies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barrels big. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cubes big. And there's a whole bunch of different ones included. You can also make your own pirate flags by taking pipe cleaners and then putting a little like foam little flag at the top. So if you want to do that too, or the kids can make their own flags, pirate flags, and then they can measure them. Again, endless options, so much fun. Fun non-standard measurement. If you also wanted another non-standard measurement activity, grab your big ocean animals from the block center, because you know, pirates, they see animals in the ocean while they're out at sea. So grab your big ocean animals and they can measure the ocean animals with the Unifix cubes just on the table. So we'll pretend like this is a big animal and they can then measure, oh, this one is too big. So this shark is 1, 2, 3, 4 big. But if you have the big ocean animals, they're more fun to measure than the little ones, but you can have a mixture of little animals and big ones. So printable activity, non-printable activity. So lots of fun measuring all the things. All right, this one is a positional words activity. So this one, you could do it a couple ways. So you could put this actually in the block center. Instead of doing a STEM challenge, you could put all of these cards kind of up in the block center. So we're gonna pretend like this is the wall. Hold on. Okay. And so you can literally hang them up in your block center. We have some little parrots for you in case you don't have any of those. And then what they're gonna do is they are gonna build a pirate hat. We even have the little pirate labels so they can put that on there. And then you're gonna say different words and they're gonna make the parrot do those things. So over, inside. So this one's kind of tricky, but I would probably do that for inside. Or maybe he is inside. Whoopsies. And this one is around, so they can fly the bird around and around. Above, on top of, in between. So they would probably need a partner in their hat, and they could put the parrot in between. In front of, there's more, let's see, next to, outside, behind. How cute is that? So again, really, really fun. If you don't want to have this in your block center, you can grab the beach and pirate STEM challenges from the STEM I Can Build units. That's in the summer set. So there's like a pirate ship, there's like beach and things like that. So that would be really fun to do in the block center if you don't want to do these. And again, these are really fun to do for like a small group or even circle time. Give everybody a cup too, and that could be their pirate hat, and then they could move their parrot all the different ways if you don't want to have them build one. So many options. Okay. All right. Ooh, here's a fun one. This one is shapes. So we're using our cut up goodies again, or you can use Play-Doh, whatever. Again, makes your heart happy. So we have two options. So we have ones with sides and vertices, or this one is the shape colored in completely. So, and we have all different ones. Which one is that? So cute. So if you're doing circle, you can't use straight sides for that. So we're gonna use our cut up beads again, and they can manipulate the beads and make it into a circle. It's not staying because I have it like up. Or they can use sparkly pom-poms, and then they can use the shells as the vertices. And then they would use the pipe cleaners. Maybe I could do it flat for you. Hold on. You guys get the idea, right? But they could use the pipe cleaners for the sides to make their shapes. But it's a really fun way for them to notice the points or the vertices and the sides and which shapes are curvy and don't have straight sides. And so the beads are perfect for that. Again, you can use Play-Doh too. There are the curvy shapes in here too but they don't have the shell because they don't have a vertex. Again, a really fun way to explore shapes and build those fine motor muscles at the same time. Whoops. Oh, in your Science Center, I would probably use the All About Shells science unit. Not probably, I would. So I have all my science units in these like scrapbooking tubs, and there's a couple options. So here's a photograph of it. So you could just explore shells and they could sort and weigh them. Another option, oops, sorry. So this one is sorting, or you could weigh them, or they could do like hide and seek, or you could talk about what animals live in shells. So there's so many options. And, oh, here's what I was gonna say. There are also these shell sorts. So that would be really fun to do for like a butcher paper activity. And this is how I keep my shell unit. So I have like, this is the shell, the shell class, all the different kinds of shells. We have our shell journals. Here is what I was looking for. We have our shell sort. So you can grab a giant piece of paper, give everybody a shell at circle time, and put the piece of paper out on the ground. There it goes. I knew I would knock things over before it was done. So take a big piece of paper and give every student a shell. After you read probably like a shell book at circle time. And then, or you could even put them on like single pieces of paper and then say, okay, we're gonna sort our shells. And this is in the Science Center. So once you do this here in circle, you can go to the Science Center and try it too. Because I feel like sometimes our students don't know what really to do in the Science Center. And it's not because, you know, they're making bad choices or like they're just trying to like do whatever they want and be obnoxious. It's probably because they don't know what to do with the materials. Like they don't know what, if they walk back there and they have shells and you have this beautiful display and you have large, medium, and small, unless you have sorted shells before in your classroom and done this, they are not gonna know what you want them to do with this. So a great way to introduce the thing that is at the Science Center, like if you have this, if you have this, then do a giant shell sort at circle after you read a book. So take an anchor chart, draw some lines. You don't even have to glue these on, and the students can each put their shells on, and you can sort the shells like you do in the Science Center. So that way they know what to do when they go to the Science Center. Because again, a lot of our kiddos they probably haven't sorted shells, right? Or maybe they haven't used a magnifying glass, or they haven't measured, or they haven't used a scale. A lot of our kids just don't know what to do with the materials sometimes in the Science Center. So use your circle time and take a couple minutes and kind of do that whole group or model it. And then when they go to the Science Center, they will know what to do with the materials. But grab something from the All About Shells science unit for your science table. Now, I think we just have art. So you can see back here, I have a little dolphin. So when I have this bulletin board set of animals, and I just kept them, and I put the word on the back, and I put magnets on them, because in one of my classrooms, I had a magnet cabinet right next to my easel, so I would put all these on there. And then a kiddo can pick one of the animals and they could try and paint them at the easel. But a lot of times I feel like our kiddos they're 3, 4, or 5, right? They may not remember exactly what a shark looks like, and they may not be able to picture it in their brain. So they can clip it on up there and they could go, oh, it has an oval body. Oh, it has some pointy fins. So that way when they're painting, they can kind of use this to build their background knowledge on what the thing actually looks like that they want to paint. And then there you go. Now, if you don't have like a random bulletin board set, you can also use, you can also use like old calendars. Like these are from the Dollar Tree and you can just laminate them so that way if they paint them, it's fine. These are all fish, but I'm sure they have one with ocean animals, or you can Google image it and just print a couple of them and put these up at the easel for just some inspiration pics. And it will help them visualize what that animal looks like to help them paint it. Because again, if they're 3, 4, and 5, they may not remember exactly what a shark looks like or they may have in their brain mixed up a shark and a dolphin. Because I will never forget this. When I first started teaching, I was shocked that 3-year-olds did not know the difference between a tiger and a lion. But it's just because they're 3. They've only been on the earth for, 36 months. So they may have been to the zoo, 9 months ago, because I live in St. Louis. So it's cold half of the year. So they may not have seen a lion or a tiger, or maybe they haven't been out. They may not know what some of these animals are, or they may not have the language to remember which one is which. So they may say, oh, I'm making a shark. And they really, in their brain, are thinking of a dolphin, just because they don't have they don't have the background knowledge yet, they don't have that vocabulary. So put some photos out for them to have inspiration. Now, if they go to the arty zone and paint something else, that's totally fine too. I just have this out just for some extra fun. You could also put these out in the middle of the table, and they could draw pictures of them when they come in the morning for arrival time. That's really fun too. And then don't forget about all of the fun animal directed drawings. Here is a puffer fish a little friend did. And in the animals directed drawing pack, there is a jellyfish. These come full page too, but I keep these in the art center once we do them. So we have a jellyfish and there is a puffer fish. In, I want to say, the summer pack, there is a crab. So you could do a crab directed drawing. Or in the books directed drawing, we also have a coconut tree. So you could draw a palm tree, which are on the beach when the pirate goes finds his treasure. You could also, where is it? That one came off. You could also do the pout fish, or just a fish. That would be really fun too to do, to kind of help your kids draw. Now, if you're wondering what we did, I gave everybody a black oil pastel for this one. They drew their animal with a black oil pastel, and then they painted it with like regular Crayola paint. So do whatever you want. Sometimes I don't like to give kids black Sharpies, so if you are scared to give your kids black Sharpies, give them a black oil pastel, because that won't erase, or if you give them a washable black marker, it kind of erases when they paint it, but a black oil pastel doesn't. So scared to use black Sharpies, use black oil pastels for your directed drawings. And then a tried and true, have them make paper plate fish or paper plate sharks, but you see this one, it's like a tiger fish. So put out some real fish photos for inspiration, so they're not just making a boring fish that's just one color, and they are really looking at all the different designs that all the different fish have. Look at all those really cool scales, which again, we're doing some science here, right? Because we're really looking at all the details of all the different fish. So yeah. So I hope you guys loved all of these pirate activities. Oh, sorry, one more thing. I always forget this, and I'm sure you guys do too. Don't forget to get out your ocean floor puzzles, or if you have any ocean games, Shark Bite is a really fun game to do for a pirate theme, or grab those floor puzzles that you have for ocean, because that is one thing I always forgot to do, is grab the puzzles and any store-bought games that I had for that theme. Always. And one thing you can do is take a picture or take a Google image of the game and put it in your pirate box. So you're like, oh yeah, I gotta get that out, because I need visual reminders just as much as the kids do. And then don't forget too, if you have any of the letter manipulatives, these are the alligators, because the alligators see the pirates, right? When they walk the plank. So grab any letter manipulatives or number manipulatives you have that will go with a pirate theme. These are fun. These are on Amazon. They're in my storefront. So I hope you guys have the best day or night, depending on when you're watching. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube for all the videos. We usually have one go live a week, so come back and check those out. There's also bazillions, like I want to say over 300. So go over there, search them. We have them organized in categories for you. So go follow, like us, and watch all the things. If you ever have a request, just email us or put it in the Facebook group, and we will try and do that for you. A video on that topic or theme for you. So you guys have the best night, and I will talk to you guys very soon.